to Alix the Gambit Sports Show. I'm your host, Alix de Ronville. Today's commentary. Masai Ujiri. The Toronto Raptors finally have a GM, vice president, making good decisions. Getting 3 players and 3 draft picks for Andrea Bargnani? Here's a player that Toronto wanted to get rid of for a couple of basketballs last year. And he got 3 players. Steve Novak, who's going to replace his three-point shooting. Very good three-point shooter. Like Bargnani, not much of a defender, not much of a rebounder, but he's a very good three-point shooter. Marcus Camby, I don't expect him to stay here. He's probably going to either be bought out or traded to another playoff team, so you can get more assets for him. Quentin Richardson, he's what we call a throw-in. To match salaries, and Bargnani makes $11 million. The Raptors had to take $11 million in salary, so Quentin Richardson had to be thrown in. He won't play very much. By getting a number 1 draft pick, 2 second-round picks included, what a steal. That's an A-plus trade. Also this week, the Detroit Pistons offered Rodney Stuckey and Charlie Villanueva for Rudy Gay. I'm happy you refused that trade. I want Rudy Gay off this roster because I think he makes way too much money, $16.4 million to be average. But don't just get rid of them for the sake of getting rid of them. And that's what Ujiri's going to do. He's going to be patient and find the right trade to move Rudy Gay. Also, there's some bad contracts on this Raptor team that he also has to get rid of. Landry Fields, $6 million. Lennis Kleza, I haven't seen him play in almost 2 years, and he makes $4 million. But I believe the Raptors finally have a GM vice president who's going to make the right decisions. And, by the way, Brian Colangelo, thank you for stepping down as president and being only a consultant. Since the Raptors didn't want to make a decision, thank you for making that move and letting Masai Ujiri do his job without the pressure of you being president. The Raptors are going in the right direction next year. That is my common sense take. Tell me what you think. This week's questions are, question number 1. How will Dwight Howard do with the Houston Rockets? It's from Don, Montreal. Don, Dwight Howard had a terrible year last year, and he still averaged 17 points, 12 rebounds per game. Think about it. 20 points and 10 rebounds per game, and you're a superstar. So he almost has superstar numbers. He will help the Rockets, I'm pretty sure. He'll be consistent. The problem with him is late in a game, you can't use him because he can't make free throws. So during close games, he might have to sit a bit. Now that he's signed for a long-term deal, this whole circus about him, where is he going to go? Is he going to stay? We know he's going to stay now. It's a 5-year contract. James Harden will love playing with him. Jeremy Lin will get him the ball on the pick and rolls. So Dwight Howard will be successful with the Rockets, and they'll make the playoffs. Next question. Will the Brooklyn Nets beat the Miami Heat? And that's from Jude in Toronto. Interesting. Now that the Brooklyn Nets made that big trade where they got Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Jason Terry, 3 people who've won championships, and you add them to Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, and Brook Lopez. Their top 6 best players match up with the Miami Heat. But the Miami Heat has won 2 championships. Been to 3 straight finals? I don't think so. I think Miami will beat them again. So, unfortunately, Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, I don't consider them winners, and they'll find a way to lose. Next question. Which team made the best free agent deal this week? And that's from Dave from Milton. Indiana Pacer got the best deal. Re-signing David West for 3 years, $36 million was the best deal I've heard all week. Why? Because they only signed him for 3 years, so you're not locked in for long terms. For the next 3 years, David West is going to have 3 All-Star seasons, and you don't worry about him fading off. Paul George is going to have a new contract soon. By the time Paul George gets his new contract, David West is off the books, and you can give Paul George his max contract. The Pacers, best deal of the week. Next question. Will the Knicks make the playoffs? And that's from Claudio in New York. Don't worry, just because you got Bargnani does not mean you're not going to make the playoffs. The Knicks will make the playoffs. They won 50 games last year with just Carmelo Anthony and J.R. Smith. If Amari Stoudemire can come back healthy, and Bargnani provides his 17 points a game, he will score 17 points a game with the Knicks. The Knicks will make the playoffs again. They might not be in the top 4. The top 4, I believe, will be the Miami Heat, the Brooklyn Nets, the Chicago Bulls, and the Indiana Pacers. So they might finish 5th or 4th, but the Knicks will make the playoffs again. Thank you for your questions. Please, keep them coming. And here's a favorite part of my show, WTF. This week's subject, Andrew Bynum. Remember Andrew Bynum? 2 summers ago was involved in that 3-team trade. Howard ended up with the Lakers, Iguodala ended up with Denver, and Bynum ended up with the 76ers. Last year he did not play 1 game. The only thing he played last year was bowling, and he hurt his knee. The 76ers paid him $12 million just to watch his teammates play basketball. He's a free agent now. As a 7'1" player, he's technically the 2nd or 3rd best center in the NBA, so someone's going to give him a lot of money. But he's only averaged 56 games a year during his 7-year career. He only played 82 games once in his 7 years. So, everybody knows he's injury prone, but he's a very good player. The problem with Bynum and his demands as a free agent is his agent. Andrew Bynum will not practice for any team. Here someone did not play for a whole season and he's not going to practice, but he expects to make $9 to $12 million a year and have a multi-year contract and not show that he could run up and down the court without getting hurt? Not practice? His agent suggested, we'll show you his MRI. MRI? Wow, we'll show you that he has no structural damage to his knee. Yes, but a team will not get to see this guy run? Come on, Bynum. Let's be reasonable. Do a couple of drills, run up and down the court, show you at least you can be healthy for a few minutes. Someone will give you 5, 7-year, $50 million a year contract, and all you have to do is run up the court once and run back once. Imagine that. But no, we want to just show people the MRI. Let's be reasonable. Show people you can play. Something else but bowling. Thank you for watching. Stay in touch, and we'll see you soon.